Dana, I guess we just jump into East Carolina. Offensively, they've been pretty good through the year, but what do you see from them, just from an offensive standpoint this week?
Obviously, huge challenge for us. I'd be remiss if I didn't just send thoughts, condolences. Sad day in college football when 3 current student athletes at another university. That happens. I mean, I don't know what happened. I just heard. I've read a few things, and but thoughts out to Virginia and the University of Virginia. It's a bad deal. I can't imagine dealing with that. So, but East Carolina's good. I think they're well coached. I think Mike Houston is doing a really good job. I mean, they're going through a lot of the same things that we are. Close games. Every game's a battle. They've lost by 1 to NC State, 3 by Navy. Lost to Tulane about the same way we did. Tough loss at Cincinnati by 2. So 6-4, and senior night all starts with, obviously with their quarterback. Athlers is really good. I mean, he's up to 13,000 yards in American Conference history. I think our quarterback's pretty good and has thrown for almost 11,000 yards, and then you got another quarterback matchup where the guy on the other side is playing at a very high level. So, they're good on offense. They can control it. They're good on 3rd and 4th down. Right at about 50% when you total the 2 of them. Scoring in the red zone. Their back is dynamic. The Mitchell kid, I know they took his helmet last week, but you always got to expect those guys to play. Next level speed. Haven't seen that kind of speed with any back that we've played this year. 4 of the 5 returners up front on the O-line, and then receivers that can go. Might be one of our bigger challenges that we've had, especially coming off the last couple of games where we haven't played good defensively. We continue to get guys knocked out, which nobody cares. Got to plug people in, and they're expected to play at a high level. So will be a tough test for us. Road game, that's a hard place to play. I've been there a couple of times. They got a great fan base, and they're sitting here at 6-4, but that place will be packed on senior night. So expecting this to be a huge test for our club down the stretch.
Dana, in regards to your guys' offensive line, I know heading into this upcoming matchup or the previous matchup with Temple, you talked about how they did a good job of being able to get to the quarterback. Overall, how do you feel your offensive line did against the Owls? Only gave up 2 sacks, and even in run blocking too, because Stacey Sneed had a good outing against the Owls too.
Yeah, continue to gel as a unit up front. The more consistent we play up front, the better it looks as a whole. I think we all understand that at this point. And, they got challenged last week to, not let those guys get to Tune. And, Tune wasn't, that first pick, I think, affected everybody. We weren't great in the first half. As good as his stats were and as good as Tune played, you should have tacked on another 50 yards and a touchdown, not an interception. I mean, gosh dang. I mean, the thing is right there, and it bounces up right into the kid's lap. I mean, that's 2 weeks in a row that's happened to Keyshawn. It's just, god dang, man. So I think I'd be lying if I didn't think that affected us. What should have been a touchdown on our first drive ends in a turnover. With that said, we played a lot better in the second half. Okay, got challenged at halftime, came out and played a lot better offensively in the second half. Tune felt comfortable in the second half. We did a good job of sorting things out up front, blocking them, not letting them get there, and then the run game was exciting to see. Seeing Stacey get out on some of those things, making some people miss, that clearly helps what we do.
Dana, being bowl eligible now, you get those extra practices, but at the same time you're so banged up, but you got the young guys. Is there a balance of, is this a good thing? I mean, you want to play in the postseason, but do you have the bodies, or in terms of what you can do in those practices, or
I don't know how to answer that because it's so different now. Everything's so different. When they move the signing day to whatever the Wednesday in December is, that made things hard. They're constantly changing the calendar where, the week of the championship game, that week is now dead. So if we're not in the championship game, we can't recruit that week. If you're not in the championship game, then you're probably going to a bowl game that's earlier in December. So when am I supposed to recruit? And when am I supposed to practice? I mean, the week after Tulsa, I don't think it'd be in our best interest to practice. I mean, we got about 30 guys on our injury report, and we've been practicing our young kids every Thursday night. We probably had the best Thursday night practice that we've had last Thursday night. So you have to be able to figure out how to do that throughout the course of the year. Plus, you need to keep coaching young kids like Eddie Henry, who's now playing, and AJ Holmes, who's now playing. There's a couple other guys. I can't think of who they are right now, but there's, so you got to keep getting those, practicing to the point where those guys play. I don't know what December looks like. I ain't worried about December. I'm worried about us being able to practice and prepare the right way this week to be able to be ready for East Carolina. I think we traveled and dressed 65 last week. You trying to be like me or what? And so I don't know what that looks like. I mean, it's, how many guys are going to have opt out of bowl games? I mean, that number grows every year, So what's the future of it? I don't know. It ain't for me to worry about right now. I'm not into scenarios. I've never have been as far as what that looks like. I'm worried about East Carolina.
on that injury report, are there any resolutions from one week to another in terms of guys that we've sort of been on the fence on whether or not they're close or not?
Well, we got a few snaps out of Tazon. Obviously, good to get Golden back. Had more guys go down. Nunnery didn't play. Hip went down. He was in a boot. Sam Brown went down towards the end. Stacy got popped towards the end. Jace didn't play. It is what it is, man. I mean, you always got to kind of see what they look like on Tuesday and practice them, and then we took Sunday night off of them once again just because sore and tired in week 11. That happens this time of the year all the time. And then Tuesday morning, tomorrow morning, we'll see what it looks like, and then see how they practice Wednesday to make a determination of who's going to travel on Thursday.
Campbell and Manjack,
They're still out. So, at this point, I'm saving Manjack. I mean, he's not quite ready. We got 2 games left. He's not quite ready. I'm not going to play him in like the last game of the year, if he's ready, which I don't know he is. I'm afraid the way he plays, how he puts his hands on people, I don't want to play him in another game or two and him lose a year. So I can save his year right now, so I'm planning on doing that with Manjack, which means he'll have 3 years for us. You guys know my feelings on him and how important he is. And then Brandon wasn't ready to go. Brandon needs to get ready to go. We're gonna probably need him this week.
Dana, how do you feel your defensive line played against Temple? They had a couple of plays where they were able to get into the backfield and disrupt Warner at times. How do you just feel the overall performance?
Okay. We knew they were hard to get to. They got the ball out really quick, so it's not like he was camped out back there just waiting for people to get open. I mean, he had, 450 yards, which is unacceptable. But a lot of it was just short, quick, intermediate passes. I think our second-level pass defense was horrendous. I think missed tackles were abundantly clear and unacceptable. So our second level's got to play better with coverage underneath and tackling. From a D-line perspective, I thought Dot played really well. He had like 6 tackles and 8 up double teams. DA got back there a couple of times. The one was a great play, and the ball's laying on the ground, and we have 2 people that can dive on it. We try to pick it up like like a young kid. I mean, it's AJ. He's just young. He ain't scooping and scoring in that situation. When the ball's in the pile, you need to jump on it. So that's a freshman mistake that he'll learn from. Missed opportunity. DA got another TFL. Other than that, there wasn't a whole lot going on. I don't think we played bad up front. We just got back there a couple of times, but that had probably more to do with what Temple was doing. They were just getting the ball out so quick, and there was a lot of open people underneath quick, which we got to get better at that. I mean, that's linebackers, nickels, corners, safeties down. We have to get better at easy, short, uncontested catches. It's not good enough. And buckle up, because this guy can do it as good as anybody with their tight ends, receivers, backs out of the backfield. We better cover those people because that's too easy.
Dana, this time of year when you still got games you're planning, but there's also the future of guys in terms of NFL, that kind of. Do you have those conversations with guys? I guess the ones that are leaving, the ones that don't have eligibility left, that want to do that. Do you do things like that with them, or just talk about them, or your feedback that you're getting from scouts or what have you?
I don't have NFL conversations with guys. I mean, that's. The only thing that we've said is everybody's constantly getting evaluated. If you think I'm not getting evaluated every week, I mean, it starts with me, and I'm well aware of the fact that I'm getting evaluated every week. Our coaching staff's getting evaluated every week. Seniors. We always talk about pride in your performance and all that. I mean, they're building their resume right now. So what you put on video and how you play is what your resume is. So if anybody has NFL aspirations, I would recommend playing at the highest level that you possibly can, if you have any chance, because those chances are slim. And then there's underclassmen. Everybody gets evaluated. I'm probably going to remind everybody once again that we're switching conferences. We're stepping up. So things are going to change.
One more. I'm doing that. Just has nothing to do. Just your personnel, your staff that you have that are behind the scenes. I'm just curious. I'm going to hang out with your equipment guys coming up. Just what they put into a game day, like a road trip like this, where they load up, and that's so essential to what you guys do, because you got to get the truck there. You got to get. So is that just sort of, when you look at everybody on your staff from top to bottom, everybody's got a role, and everybody's got a, it's a big part of what you guys do just to get to game day.
It's a big organization. It's a couple of hundred deep if you really dig down into it and look at it with managers. Those guys are hard-working dudes that don't get thanked a whole lot. But the amount of hours and stuff that they put in, making things functional, that thing's probably 12, 15 people deep, for as much personnel as we can have in there to help, we can. There's the training staff, the doctors included. We'll travel probably 3 or 4 doctors this week. Hopefully we don't need them like we have. And athletic trainers, there's 4 or 5 of them. I hear they're all slamming energy drinks before games and stuff. It's pretty wild. And then there's the student trainers, which is like there's probably another dozen of them, that go. The recruiting staff, we probably got about 8 of those, that just sit there and evaluate things all day long. So it's a big organization, there's no doubt. And it's going to get bigger. I mean, it's been getting bigger every year. In college football, these staffs have been getting bigger each and every year. For what we have, And I've compared what we have compared to what the other teams in the Big 12 have, and we're clearly on the low end of what we have. So that's going to have to grow as well. I'm just saying this adjustment's not going to happen overnight. Once again, my focus is, 2022 Houston football and how we finish. 6-4. Team doesn't quit. Our guys keep fighting. I'm proud of that. We've been down at halftime pretty much every game for whatever reasons. Call it coaching if you want. But we keep fighting. And we've found a way to win a lot of these close games, to where we can hang out there and enjoy some of these victories. That's better than the alternative. So once again, we did that on Saturday. I'm happy and proud of that. We got to prepare the right way to go play East Carolina. Got to see how we're going to finish this thing off.
Thanks.
All right, thank you all.